All right, so we will take your calls about anything. We're going to continue the email here in a moment about the Canadian healthcare system, but we'll give callers preference because that's what the show is about taking your calls about anything. So let's talk to Tim in Delaware, listening to WGMD. Tim, good evening. You're on the air.
Yes, sir. How y'all doing?
Super. What's on your mind tonight?
This is the first time I heard you, but
it's the second time we've been on, Tim, so that's okay. It's totally understandable.
I just think y'all being a bit disrespectful to the sacrifices that our veterans are making. Yeah, and y'all are entitled to your opinion.
Well, I understand that there's sacrifices being made. Like people are taking bullets, big hard bullets in their soft bodies. I agree with you, but what is the reason that I should respect that?
Well, what about the people that died in the Twin Towers? Shouldn't somebody be paying that consequences of their actions?
I suppose that the criminals that committed those actions should pay for them, and the people that paid them, financed them, and that kind of thing. But my question still stands. What are we doing about that? It looked to me like George Bush had no intention. As a matter of fact, he said he doesn't care where Osama bin Laden was, and Osama bin Laden is not in Afghanistan, and he's not in Iraq, he's not in Somalia, and he's not in any of the places that we have troops.
Well, we don't exactly know where. Is he still alive?
Chances are very, very good from the reporters around the world that apparently do far better investigation than the United States military that he's in the Pashtun area of Pakistan. But we'll see.
Go in there and whack him.
Look, do you think it's okay to go in people's sovereign countries and whack people?
Well, they came in our sovereign country and killed innocent civilians.
Who, the Pakistanis came?
They suffered the consequences.
They
should suffer the consequences.
The United States Constitution has a system for dealing with just what you're talking about, and that system is called letters of marque and reprisal. You put a bounty on Osama bin Laden's head, and then somebody goes and gets it. Instead of what they did, which was they put a bounty on his head, but they wouldn't let any American forces go get it, any American people. If you were an American citizen, you weren't allowed to claim that bounty, which is a stupid way to go about it in the first place. And the bounty wasn't very high if you wanted to mount some kind of force to do something.
Wait, now how much money have the government people spent on the Iraq and Afghanistan conflict?
Combined?
Yeah.
Quite a bit of money,
in excess of $1 trillion.
So why? Yeah. So basically, Mark, what you're saying is if they
don't forget all the Army guys that have no arms and no legs that we're going to have to take care of for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
The ones that have PTSD and the ones. What's that?
All right. They volunteered. They obviously see something that we don't.
Wait, point of information. Let's not get sidetracked here.
Well, he was talking about the expenses of the war.
Tim, I want to just point something out here. What Mark just suggested was putting a bounty on the criminal's head. If the criminal is Osama bin Laden, putting a bounty on his head, Mark, you had said that it wasn't very large, but yet they went and spent, $1 trillion or whatever on the war. So
they put like I think $10 million on his head.
So why not take $1 billion and put it on his head or something like that? Wouldn't that be a more effective way of getting that person brought to some level of justice without having to spend trillions of dollars and thousands of lives and 100,000 innocent people over in those countries? Because, how do you feel about that? Do you feel like it's worth killing 100,000 human beings to go after one man?
Just ask the 3,000 people that died during the Twin Towers attacks and the Pentagon attack. Ask their relatives how they feel, what we should be doing.
Well, I don't think that their relatives are qualified to spend my money, sir. See, that's the issue.
Or to kill 100,000, or to decide whether 100,000 people should die.
If their relatives said that they wanted to shoot you in order to solve the problem, would it be okay then?
If I took their lives, I guess.
But you didn't, and neither did those 100,000 people. That's what we're talking about here.
But that's the consequences of war.
I'd like to get back to your original question, though. Your original statement.
No, I'd like to hear what Dale has to say on this.
Let him jump in on this, but I really want to go to this consequences of war thing.
Make a note, then.
This is fun. I enjoy this. This is fun.
So if I have, for instance, a burglar runs out of my house, he's got my TV set in his hand, I take a couple of shots at him. In the process, I perforate some woman's baby's head with the shots. Should I be charged with murder?
Well, that's your fault for missing.
Right,
and guess so.
That's 100,000 people that the U.S. military missed on. So my question to you is this: should George Bush be brought up on charges for missing 100,000 times?
No.
Absolutely not. Right?
No.
Because you hold politicians to a different standard than you do individuals who are responsible for their actions.
Oh, only the Democrats or the Republicans.
Sir. We had an act of war brought upon us, and the people who brought this act of war upon us should suffer the consequences.
Who were they?
Which people?
Well, they were terrorists.
I'm sorry,
but
terrorists from the country of terror?
Look, George H.W. Bush, the first George Bush president, had a attempt taken upon his life. So did Bill Clinton.
Well, we're getting sidetracked. Your original statement.
USS Cole is an act of war.
We're getting sidetracked. Your original statement was we're being a little disrespectful. What do you think was disrespectful?
Well, to the sacrifice of the veterans, because these young men are.
How so? What did we do that was disrespectful? What did we do that was? What did we say that was disrespectful to them?
Well, that they're just wasting their life, and they don't see it that way.
I don't think anyone said they were wasting their lives. So if I disagree,
I said that.
Okay, so should we lie then about what we really think? Would that be respectful for them?
That's the beauty of talk radio, ain't it?
Okay, so then so then you agree we shouldn't lie. That would not be respectful.
Well, we're certainly not going to lie. That's for sure.
So I'm still trying to understand what did we do? What did we say that was disrespectful?
I think you said that they were just wasting your lives.
It was just being critical,
back up.
Dale.
You just got through saying we shouldn't lie about how we...
Look, I don't expect them to remember exactly what we might have said. Essentially, we were being critical of the conflict over there, and that was disrespectful enough in his mind. But here's what I want to bring this back to, is your consistent use, and you're probably not even aware of it, your consistent use, Tim, of this term they. If they attacked us, we should go attack them. They and we. And it's as though you're grouping everybody who's an Afghani or lives in the borders of Iraq. You're grouping them all into the same category as though all of them were in on the attacks and they all deserve to perish as a result of that. Do you see yourself doing that?
It's called collateral damage, isn't it?
Do you see yourself
in war?
But that is what the people from 9/11 were too. That's what the victims of 9/11 were too, because Osama bin Laden doesn't care about average citizens in the United States. What he wants is the United States military out of Saudi Arabia, which is a country we did not attack, by the way. So he was willing to kill 3,000 people with his suicide bomber guys who hijacked the planes, and therefore they're just collateral damage. You seem to care greatly about that collateral damage. However, you do not care about their collateral damage.
Why is that?
I would submit to you that is why war continues, is because people like you don't give a damn about other people's mothers, fathers, brothers, sisters, and children.
Well, excuse me, but I disagree, buddy.
What?
You're saying you do give a damn?
How many people's kids need to die in order for your blood to be for your desire for bloodlust to be satiated?
Vengeance.
Well, I mean, maybe like 10-1. That's
okay, we're well over that.
We ought to punish severely the people that took this innocent civilian lives.
But this is this is what I'm talking about.
You can't tell me who these people are. All you are able to do is basically
hide behind civilians, and unfortunately, the civilians is called collateral damage.
So wait. When you say these people, well, we're gonna Tim, I want to hang on to you here, all right? If you don't mind.
I love it.
Okay, since you love it, we're gonna bring you back, and if you want to talk to Tim, 800-259-9231. These people, Tim, I want to know who these people are. Is it the 100,000 people that have been killed in Iraq and Afghanistan?
Muslim people.
Is that what you mean, Tim?
Terrorists.
Is it Muslims? Is it terrorists? I want to know from you.
Camel jockeys.
Who are these people that deserve to perish? 800, because the people that crashed the planes into the buildings died on impact. It's Free Talk Live. This is Free Talk Live. You can bring up whatever you want. Just dial in toll-free at 800-259-9231. That's the SACL CAI toll-free line. 1-800-259-9231. Join us online at freetalklive.com. Hey, if you enjoy this show, you can shop with us at amazon.freetalklive.com. It's a great way to get the stuff that you need, the stuff that you want in life, and get it delivered to your door and help Free Talk Live out all at the same time. You know Amazon, they're the world's largest internet retailer. They sell virtually everything, dozens of categories, even used items. So if you need to save a few extra bucks, you can go used. Also, going new is a pretty good idea with Amazon because in a lot of cases you get free Super Saver shipping on your purchases of new products through amazon.freetalklive.com. Entering through that link allows Free Talk Live to be given a spiff. Amazon basically cuts us in on their profits for sending them the business. So once again, that's amazon.freetalklive.com. As we continue here, and we're on WGMD tonight. It's an FM talk station in Delaware that has joined us for our Saturday show. They're taking a few days of our weekday program.